Since the early 1990s, there have been stories about black-eyed children. These entities are said to have a dark presence, and whenever someone encounters them they feel uneasy. Those who have come forward and reported their encounters have been left scared and wanting answers. One of the problems though is that many eyewitnesses can't prepare for these encounters. What usually happens is one of the entities will knock on the door and take the person on the other side by surprise. The encounter is rushed and the person is usually left terrified by the experience. People that have experienced black-eyed children have said they've never encountered these individuals before, which has led paranormal researchers to say that the encounters seem random and not planned. This story was sent to me a while back and revolves around a woman who had a creepy encounter. The woman said the following: "My name is Lisa and I live in Telford. My boyfriend came over to stay on this particular night and we decided to go for a walk. Where I live is a beautiful place and I generally feel very safe where I am. After eating dinner we decided to head out for our walk. Everything was fine, but around 40 minutes in we noticed something strange. After being midway through our walk, my boyfriend picked up on the fact that we were being followed by a child. I looked back and I saw the little girl. However, I couldn't really make out what she looked like because it was dark. My boyfriend asked me whether we should go over and see if they're okay, but I thought she may have been with her family. 10 minutes after this encounter I looked behind us and the little girl was gone, but things only got more strange. A few minutes we came to a dark crossroad and the little girl started to walk towards us. Not only did this scare us, but we wondered how she managed to get in front. We decided to walk towards the little girl, but both of us were nervous. We thought that she may have been lost, and thought it would be best to go and ask if she was lost and needed assistance. As soon as we were around 15 feet from this girl, we both looked at each other. This girl's eyes were completely blank, and not only that, but her clothing looked really old. She said in a calm voice, "I need you to come with me." She pointed at me and during the whole encounter blinked my boyfriend. I said no and quickly walked off. While doing so, she just stood there and stared at us. It's the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me, and I have no answers for what we encountered that night. End quote. Another guy reported his strange encounter. He said the following: "While going for a jog, I encountered two beings. I don't want to call them children because something wasn't right. I like to think of myself as a brave kind of guy, but this is something that really got to me. In fact, it stayed with me to this day. While jogging, I see these two figures in the distance. It was dark at this point, but it wasn't uncommon to see people, as my jogging route is near quite a busy area. Occasionally you would see people walking their dogs or couples walking hand in hand. However, these people didn't seem like any of those. Where I jog there are two paths you can take, and I usually take the right path, but on this particular night these two beings were standing in the middle of the right path. I had to go this way as it then loops me around to where I started. However, as I approached them, something seemed off. The two beings both had their heads down. One was a girl and the other was a boy. I took my headphones out and started to get worried. I thought that perhaps they were lost or needed help. As I approached though, I could see the boy kept looking up and then back down really quickly, almost as if to see how close I was getting. This immediately put me on edge as it came across as weird. I asked them if they needed help and this was when I was taken back. Both of them had dark black eyes. I felt like I was being drawn into them. They asked me if I could give them a ride home. I explained that they could see me running down the path and that I didn't have my car close by. I asked where they were from and they said that's not important. They asked me if I'd let them in my house to use the telephone. At this point I really started to panic and pretended I had a phone call. and then made a quick getaway. The reason I don't like to call them children is because something was off. These beings talked in a strange way. They sounded too intelligent for their age. They also used old words that don't get used nowadays. You may think it's strange that I ran off, but these beings weren't normal. They did not act scared but were actually rather intimidating. The way they stared at me with their black eyes just freaked me out. I also got a bad feeling inside when I was around them." End quote. This last story features a man who is alone with his daughter. He claims that he was sleeping in his daughter's bedroom, but could hear a knocking sound outside of the house. He thought it may have been one of the neighbour's cats, and so tried to fall back asleep, but this odd noise continued. The man looked around his house and could see two figures standing outside the window. He then saw them walk around and knock on the front door. Both were boys aged between 9 and 12 years old. The man also noticed that they gave off a mouldy odour. The boys asked the man, "May we use your telegraph?" He quickly realised that something wasn't right, and as they stepped into the light he noticed that they had jet black eyes. He quickly shut the door and ran up to his daughter's bedroom. The man held his daughter tight as the strange individuals continued to knock on the door throughout the night. So what do you make of these strange black-eyed children stories? Do you think they're based on fact, or just urban legends? Also, what would you do if these black-eyed children knocked on your door? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.